Alright, so for today, I'm doing a video on the best skins for each Mortal Kombat 1 character. Now, this can vary because people might be thinking I'm talking about the sort of color palettes, but no, I'm talking by the amount of styles they have, like the different variation of outfits they have, rather than just like going off full colors, which can play somewhat of a part when I'm taking as a whole to each variant. I'm just considering one variant the best of all skins. So for example, for like Sub, which I'll explain later in the video, out of his 5 right here, I'm gonna pick one that I feel like is his best skin for everything. So it would just include the whole catalog of colors for the palettes. But yeah, that's just to set the rules of how this video is gonna go, and without further ado, let's go underway. So I'm gonna be going in order from like left to right, all the way to the down section of the roster. But we have Ermac, who pretty much has nothing, which is crazy. But yeah, see, I guess for these like one character skins, if I don't own them, I'll just rank them off of the color itself, I guess. But for me, it'll be the Collector of Souls. It's really straightforward. It's basically the default, but just swapped in with color switches. But the only difference is I do like the fact that the mask has like a red glow rather than the green soul-like type. And yeah, it's just personal bias, but there's really not much to go off of with Ermac. As for Kitana, I feel like there's a lot that she has to offer as a skin for a character. Like, this character has practically no bad outfit, I feel like, which I'll go in another video and talk about worst outfits. But Kitana is really hard to cherry pick when it comes to this because all her skins are practically nice. The Christmas one they gave her is good, but if I'm supposed to go with one of them, I feel like I would go with the maskless version of Kitana. Because the thing is, when this skin first came out on the update for, I think it was Omni-Man, I could be wrong. When this came out with the Omni-Man announcer voice pack and the sub skin for Deadly Alliance, this skin and the Deadly Alliance sub both caught my eye. And this one, compared to the other one she has, like her default's good, her Titan skin is good. The one they recently gave her for like the sort of Earth Realm vibe, like Mileena, that's also good. The Christmas skin is great. But I feel like when you think of Kitana, chances are most times you might just think of like sort of her maskless look from MKX to MK11 and now into this game. And something about the whole fit as a whole, the sort of royal elegance in it compared to everything else, screams the sort of standard that Kitana's at. Next we have is Mileena. Okay, so Mileena is very simple to break down for me. I feel like it's not really something crazy that she has to offer. Hot take, her Titan skin is not my favorite, but it could be tied between the Earth Realm or New Era. But to make matters simple, I'll just go with her default skin. This is a very basic look for Mileena compared to like other MK games, like MK9 of course, which was something completely crazy on whatever it was trying to go for. And then MKX, I feel like was my favorite of the Mileena default skins. But as far as MK11, it was fine. It wasn't bad at all. And then you have MK1, where I feel like it's more just basic Mileena. And honestly, for what they're going for, I feel like it's fine. I do like the sort of vibe that they give with the claw as a way to hold the hair. That's a really cool detail of the bone. But as far as the whole outfit, I feel like it's the same sort of treatment as Kitana, where like it has its sort of flashy sense to it, where it can fit the sort of empress that they're trying to go for. Now for Tanya, I feel like I'll stay with the same thing. I feel like her default outfit is pretty good considering what it is. It's something basic, it's nothing too crazy. It's just, if I remember right, the Umgadi is what they're called. And yeah, I don't know. As far as like standards for this game, this default is fine. It's nothing crazy. As far as Tanya's skins, I feel like these are all pretty mediocre. But if I was to pick one that is my favorite, I would definitely say for her best skin would be her default. As for Rain, this man Rain right here, he is sort of easy to go by because most of his skins are pretty much basic. Both of them are practically kind of basic, but his Titan skin, it's very, very flashy. I feel like when you compare it to like his other two skins, this is by far his best one. I don't think I gotta go very far into depth with this character when it comes to his best skin. His Titan skin, the Order of Darkness, it's pretty damn good. And there's really no competition to it when I compare it to these. Like, the default's fine. The other one is alright, but yeah, the Titan skin takes it by a mile. This is by far his best skin. Next up is Smoke, and Smoke I feel like is a very simple character when it comes to his skins, because like, once again, I feel like he doesn't really have a bad sort of variant to his skins. But if I was to pick one, it would have to basically be the basic. Something about the default basic is just something so smooth and clean. Like, it's a very clean Smoke look, in my opinion. I know a lot of people when this skin was like, well, not his skin, like his design when it was first shown, people were like very skeptical. They were like, why does he have this sort of short haircut compared to like his longer hair? But I feel like for me, it's very much grown on me. Like, it's very simple and it's very styled. Now the thing with this is the whole design is very basic. It's just supposed to be like some Lin Kuei-esque fit, and it works. I feel like it works very fine for what it's trying to go for. And as far as Smoke, it is very basic, but it's very good while doing what it's trying to do. And when you compare it to, like, let's say skins as a whole with your color palette choices, I feel like this one has so much to offer. Like, his Titan skin is very good. His Titan skin is very good. The only issue is it doesn't scream the sort of Smoke that this game already presented to us with the first default. So when I think of Smoke in MK1 and I try and think of my favorite skin for him, it won't be his classic. It would be this, his default, which is my favorite look for him in this game. And next up is Scorpion. And for these 5 palettes they gave him, I feel like I'm very, very biased with this. But my favorite is by far his sort of MK3 look they gave him, the UMK3. Thing with this is, my favorite, obviously I feel like everyone's favorite Scorpion is Hanzo Hasashi, right? Compared to like Kuai Liang now. But this skin gives me what I need from a Scorpion skin. It gives me Hanzo Hasashi, I feel like. The white glowing eyes, the sort of clean but basic look, it's all just screaming good Scorpion skin to me. Everything is fine about the skin. The fact that he also has like a sort of all black, I think it's right, yeah, it's this one right here. This one is practically one of my favorite skins, tied with the default one they gave him for the UMK3. Like, this skin is just great. I do feel like Scorpion has no bad skins as far as variants, but yeah, like, this just by a mile away, I really love this skin. It's really good to me. It's amazing. As for Reptile, he's very sort of tricky in my eyes, because the thing is, his skins are very good. Like, his UMK3 is really damn good, but I do feel like the Titan skin is great for what they're trying to do with MK1's Reptile. Because the thing is, if I wanted a UMK3 Reptile, I feel like it would just have to be as basic as possible. And the way they have this sort of Reptile movement in the game, it wouldn't be my most favorite skin to be using in a match. But for the Titan skin they recently gave him with his season, I feel like it's really good. Like, the armor, it's nothing too crazy. I mean, it is kind of crazy, but it's nothing as crazy as like sort of MK11, where every character had it from top to bottom with like no gap whatsoever. But yeah, this skin is practically my favorite. The amount of variation you could go with it, the sort of, if I can find it, I think it's this one right here, down here. Yeah, the sort of, this look right here, this is by far my favorite Reptile skin. This skin alone and the whole variation is just enough to make me love it as a whole. The whole fit, this looks like it just matches the slime and everything. It's just, this design is practically my favorite. Like, I could just equip this and go on with no other sort of pause. It's just that good of a skin. But yeah, for me, I feel like the Order of Darkness skin for Reptile, his Titan skin, would be my favorite. Next up is Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero has 5, and honestly, I'm just no sugarcoat. I'm gonna go straight into it. It's either Order of Darkness or New Era, but if I was to pick one, it would be the New Era, because this thing has so many options to offer. Obviously, it has my profile picture from the past while, like this one right here, and then also this one right here, this one. Like, these both contain the sort of skins I love for a default. It has the great color palette choice. It has the good design for the default that I really do admire. A lot of people say it's too basic. I mean, it is when you compare it to like MKX or MK11, but hell, compared to like MK9 Sub-Zero, like that one is practically more Sub-Zero than this one when you look at it. I just really like the sort of base mentality this skin gives off, especially for someone like Bihan. Like, he's not a crazy person when it comes to style of fashion, so this screams Bihan to me. This just default outfit, it's really good. And as far as the sort of, like I said, color palette, as well as the effects they gave for like the ice effect, the one that's currently in my profile picture, this is really nice. I love this sort of look to Sub-Zero, the sort of icicle, sort of ice vibe, just frozen trauma. Like, it's just great. Like, his Deadly Alliance skin is great too. His Order of Darkness is freaking amazing. Like, I really love that season. But the default is what sort of set the sort of precedent for all these skins. It's the sort of basic mood of everything. It sets the whole vibe. And as far as the color palettes, it really complements each other, and it's by far my favorite of the sub skins. Next up is Li Mei. I'm not even gonna think about this too hard. It's very simple. It's the sort of Order of Darkness Titan skin they gave her as a boss in Invasions. This one is great. When I first saw the skin, I missed out on the first season it dropped, and I was very, very annoyed with the fact that I missed out on it. And then luckily the next season they had her as the second fight that you will face against Rain, I think it was, and I managed to get the skin then, and I'm glad I have it because this is by far her best skin. When you compare it to the other two, they're pretty very basic on it. Like, the first one is very basic, the second one is practically a lesser version of the Titan skin, and this one's amazing. I feel like the whole design of everything is just, it all comes together with this sort of skin. It's just great. I don't have to go more in depth with it. This is just the best Li Mei skin to me. Next up is Kenshi. Now, Kenshi right here, I am not even gonna think about this too hard either. I feel like his best is his default. His Yakuza outfit is pretty damn good. Like, the whole suit that he wears, it's great. But for me, the New Era skin, his just default skin is great alone. The default itself is enough to probably take this whole list by storm, but just for the sake of it, I'll include the color palette as a little sort of complement to it. Like, the gold looks good on it. This amazing, the Sento's Keeper, the black, it fits so well in my opinion. The sort of sub vibe they gave him with the hair too was great. But yeah, there's really nothing much I could say about it. The default skin is just so good in every way compared to every other skin, I feel like. Alright, Baraka. I feel like my favorite for him is the Titan. I don't gotta go more in depth with this. His Titan boss skin is really damn cool. The sort of horn helmet they gave him, and the sort of braid in the back is a little funny for me when I see it as on Baraka, but still, the design of the horn helmet is great. The whole fit he has on that trembles as a shirt compared to like his default, it's great. I do love the little slight armor he has on his left too. That is pretty nice to have on the skin. But I swear, in battle and fight, this skin looks really nice. So comparing it to the other three, this is by far his favorite in my opinion. This character is very, very, very easy to break down as well. Like, I don't really like his second skin, his Titan skin, but I will say his default's really good. His Order of Darkness is pretty damn good too. But if I was to practically choose one, I feel like I would pick his default, weirdly enough. Because his default is so basic, but it's nice. My hot take is I still prefer Geras and MK11. MK11 Geras was something else. Like, his face had a glow up, but as far as his outfit as a whole, I still prefer his MK11 look. Now, MK1, yeah, I feel like his default would just be his best. There's not much I can really say. All of his skins are somewhat the same in every way. The only difference is that I feel like the more basic it is for this one, it's better. Omni-Man. This man has no other skins, so I'm just gonna go off of the basic. You know, when it comes to the DLCs, I feel like most of the time I'll just pick their default skin as an alternative. But funny enough, this red and black look for Omni-Man, I just really love it. I don't know, red and black is one of my favorite color combos, and for Omni-Man, it's so damn cool. Like, his Viltrum outfit with the whole gray, that's freaking awesome too. But I just love the red and black. I don't know what it is, but this is so damn cool to me. The default's nice too, but I feel like Viltrumite Warrior is just my favorite personally. It's just very damn cool. Next is Peacemaker. You know, Peacemaker, I'll just go with his default, yeah. As much as I love, like, this sort of urban pacifier they give him, it's not as good as the Evil and Dove, like his main default skin, what screams Peacemaker. When I think of Peacemaker, the first thing I'm gonna think of is the default outfit. And yeah, just, it is so well, bro. The whole way they did this, It's just great. It's a chef's kiss. They made it just like the show. Next up is Shang Tsung. His best skin, in my opinion, is probably the Deadly Alliance skin they gave him. I don't know what it is, but this one color palette alone is good enough to like steal the whole catalog for him. I don't know what it is about his face. Like, it just looks weird. Like, it doesn't look like it fits. Like, his freaking cheeks just pop up out of the whole facial hair and everything. It looks a bit weird, man. To my eye, it just looks freakishly weird. But as far as the skin itself, it's great. I do like this skin. This is by far his best skin, in my opinion, when you compare it to the others. He has really good skins. I think the only one I don't really like is his sort of second Titan, but that's about it. Everything else is pretty much fine, but if I was to say my favorite, it would be the Deadly Alliance. It's really that good. Now, this is probably going to be the biggest hot take of this video, but I really, 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 really love the default skin they gave Shao. Something about the fucking design, about his mask that they gave him, it like gives me that. When I first saw it, the first vibe it gave me was like Steppenwolf, and I'm not even a freaking Justice League fan of the movie. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of the Zack Snyder. It's a good movie, but it's not my favorite. But this design screams Steppenwolf to me, and that's one of the things I do like about that villain, his design. The sort of design he got in that movie, with the sort of armor and the crazy spiked helmet they gave him, the sort of armor, it is so cool. And I don't know why, but Shao's outfit screams a bit of that to me. But that's not even why I like it the most. It's just because it's so basic, but so damn cool. Like, with this skin, the presence of it, it's just great. The whole design is awesome. I really love how they made Shao in this game. In MK11, he was good. And I feel like with the Deception skin, they gave us the closest to that. That would have been the best skin had it not been the fact that I really love the default. The thing is, this skin doesn't offer many color palettes, so it can't bring it too high. But this one, there are so many great skin color combos I love with it. Like, it just fits so well. The gold is great. I'm surprised I don't have the silver. I should have cooked that too. But yeah, this skin is just so great. I love the default New Era skin they gave Shao. It's just General Shao, perfect. What they did with his default, amazing. I love it. This character recently got a skin. It was her Deception skin, and I feel like pretty much everyone who plays Sindel, or just the whole game community when it comes to MK1, they all agree that Deception is her best skin. The thing with this skin is, it's the closest to Sindel you get in this game, which is weird to say because this is not even her default. This is just a skin they gave her later on in the game. But this is basically a Sindel skin when you think about it. It has the white glowing eyes that you expect. The closest we had to it up to this point was probably the Order of Darkness, which was her villainous skin, but her default skin's alright. It's not bad. These skins are all fine, I guess. But when you compare it to the Deception skin they gave her, yeah, this one just pretty much blows them all away. This one's really great. As far as the Sindel skin, it's exactly what you want from a Sindel skin. Reiko. This character right here is sort of like one of those characters I have no care for, but his default design is fine. I don't really want to go too in depth with this. Reiko, I literally don't give a shit about this character, but his default skin is fine. Raiden, this character, I don't even gotta think twice about it. This character immediately gets the freaking Titan fight he has in Invasions. This whole Invasion skin, this is easily taking it. The MK11 skin, the fact that they gave him the sort of dark red eye effect to his like, they even gave him red lightning as an effect to his gameplay. Like, that's awesome alone. But yeah, this skin, I don't even gotta double think. This skin just takes the top place. I don't even want to go in depth. I'm a Raiden main from MK11, so this skin is by far his best when you compare it to all these more basic ass skins they gave him. But I don't care. This skin is perfect. There's nothing I can say wrong about it. The only thing that I wish is that we would have had the OG Raiden voice actor for it. That would have been awesome, but with what we got, at least, like the design and the effect, I'm fine with that. This skin is great. Favorite for him might just be his default. His default is kind of engraved in my memory at this point, considering how all over it was in the trailers and everything. But this man freaking has the cover art with this skin, if I'm not mistaken, too. So I don't really think there's much I need to say. Liu Kang is fine, I guess. He doesn't have the shorts on in this one, so it's not really my favorite. But this one is alright too, I guess. The one they gave him with the sort of lurking presence he had in story mode for the Linkway section. But yeah, it's alright. By far his best one is his default. I don't gotta go far in that one. Johnny Cage. Okay, this man has a freaking catalog of skins. Like, this man was really given every single skin in the game for the most part. He has 5 skins, but The amount of times they were like rubbing it in your face that he had skins in the first half of this game, it's crazy. But if I was to pick one, I feel like it is very hard because I really do love this skin, the Order of Darkness they gave him. But that default is very basic and generic, but it does what you need it to do. It does Johnny Cage justice. It's just a regular ass guy who wears flashy clothes and has a big presence. But if I was to pick one, I would pick the default. Nothing crazy, too much. It's a basic design, but it screams Johnny Cage. The sort of watch he wears, just flexing his cash, the sort of broad but sort of clean, smooth suit. It's something basic. Like it's just a basic ass fit. But for Johnny Cage, it's great. I don't know how to describe it. It's just a great Johnny Cage skin. It's basic, but it's amazing. That's my opinion on it. Next up is Kung Lao. Kung Lao over here. This man, I feel like his best skin may just be this one, the Order of Darkness. I didn't go in Invasions and get more skins, which I should have, because this skin honestly is pretty damn sick and match to look at. But I think compared to the thing with Kung Lao is all his skins are pretty basic. They are all freaking bland as hell. Like they're all just boring. I don't know how to say it nice, but Kung Lao is one of those characters I have like no interest in. And when I see his skins, it's boring. His second skin is pretty good, I guess. Even though I have like none of them equipped, it is pretty nice, the sort of vibe it gives off with the sort of cloak, I wouldn't say. But the overwear with this one, I feel like it is kind of basic when you look at it, but the amount of detail they put into it, it's better than the other ones, I feel like. The sort of wraparound they gave him, the sort of tattoo they gave him on the side, the knuckle, it's just way better, I feel like. Especially the boots, that's another thing. Like the sort of footwear he's usually wearing, it's always like this same flat wear type look. But with this one, he wears like these sort of boots, and I don't know, that adds something to it for me. I don't know why, but it does. Ashrah. Okay, Ashrah, I don't even gotta double think this either. The thing with her is her freaking Order of Darkness skin is great. This is awesome. The sort of skin they gave her for her Titan fight, it's amazing. This thing in Invasions was a good, worthy grind for. The amount of options you have with it compared to like these. I remember at the basic launch of this game, the Union of Light was her best, and I probably would have said that now because of the fact that they added the hat for Ashrah compared to her, honestly, in my opinion, sneak peek, terrible ass default. I feel like the Order of Darkness does it justice. She has the hat, she has the sort of smooth, fancy wear. It's exactly what I want from an Ashrah skin. It's nothing more, nothing less. And yeah, I feel like this one's perfect. Alright, next up is Nitara. Nitara, it's either between Union of Light or Deadly Alliance, because her Deadly Alliance skin is pretty damn good. This skin alone is really nice. But if I was to pick one, hot take, I really do like her sort of Union of Light second skin that they gave her as her Titan. This skin is really nice. Now, Nitara is a very complicated character because her default skin is very weird, but people do like it for some reason. The Hershey kiss that she has on her head. The Order of Darkness skin she has is very unique. I would say strange and unique, but it's not exactly my style when it comes to a Nitara skin. Now for me, I feel like Nitara is the closest I'll get to Scarlet in this game, and when I think of that, I think of the Union of Light skin, because the thing is, the red color palette looks so well for this character. By far my favorite skin for Nitara as a whole. When I take all color palettes, everything in total, this is one of my favorite skins in the game. Just the color combination, this skin alone, this whole red and black on this skin, this variant for the Union of Light is enough to take the whole for me. And I think in general, I do like the sort of little tiara she wears, I guess. The sort of fancy wear she wears on her heel, it's nice. Like the sort of shiny heel she wears, it's good. And I feel like the Deadly Alliance is good, but I don't know, Union of Light is just so sick to me. Like if I was to go on the, let's say the silver skin, it's just amazing. Yeah, this whole fit looks amazing in my eyes. But yeah, I think Nitara's Union of Light skin is pretty damn good. Next up is Havik. Havik is a character I feel like his default is really freaking fire. Like his default is really damn good. It's something more simple for his character, but I do really fucking love the attention of the sort of reds. I don't want to say a freaking like his claw. Like I don't want to say claw, but he does have a claw hand on the side. But that's not exactly what's getting my eye captured. It's really like that spike that he has in his right arm, the sort of glaive, like that one stab he has. It's just really cool. Like the armor he wears is also kind of sick, I guess. The chain up look with the exposed torso of scars, it's just really nice. And not to mention the freaking what's it called? If you look at the back, if I'm not mistaken, yeah. If you look at the back right here, you can see like this extra look of the spikes on his leg, as well as this sort of blade hiding behind him. It's so damn sick, man. Like the whole look of Havik in his default is freaking awesome to me. And the amount of skin color choices you have with it compared to like other variants, it's just really great in my opinion. Next is the biggest fart of this game to me, Quan. I really don't care about this character, I never did. But the thing is, if I was to pick one, it would be his default. His default skin is pretty much better than whatever else dookie they gave him. I know he has a Deadly Alliance skin, I don't own it, so maybe I'm missing out. But as far as my favorite, it would just be his default, because there's really nothing to compare with these. These are pretty much boring as hell to me when I think of Quan. But the default is pretty fine, like it's a good design. And last but not least, we have the latest release, Homelander, Mr. John himself. Now, the thing with him is, if I was to go off a color palette, I really do feel like his skins are pretty good. Like, the white sort of Starlight-esque skin is really nice. The sort of gold skin they gave him is actually pretty good in my opinion. A lot of people don't like the army skin for some reason, but I really do appreciate it. Like, it's something I would see Homelander wearing, weirdly enough, as like a sort of promotion type thing. Now, the default is fucking fire. The default is really fucking fire. But the thing is, I am gonna take a bold choice with this, and instead of picking the default, which was a very close second to me, I will pick the Soldier Boy's boy. Yeah, I think that's what it's called. Yeah, Soldier Boy's boy. Like, this skin, I don't know what it is, but when I see a character in all black attire, it's so damn sick. And the fact that it has like this red look to it is awesome. Now, when I look at this skin, I don't even think about Soldier Boy, weirdly enough. I think of freaking, what's it called? Stormfront. Because she wears like a sort of black attire like this with the red too, if I'm not mistaken. But, I don't know, something about it is so sleek. The black and red, it looks great in game. It looks great in the sort of animation they have for the intro, outro, even fatality, all that. It's great. The default is amazing, but I'm telling you, when this thing goes with its gear, it's pretty sleek. Like, unlike the default where some of these just don't fit at all for it, I can see each of these in some weird way fitting this exact skin. But yeah, that's my opinion. It's either this or the default, but if I was to pick one, I'll pick the black. I'll pick that full choice of it, just because you already see enough of the default in media and in game probably just to let it slide. But this, yeah. It's like the same situation with Omni-Man. Like, for Omni-Man, I don't want to pick his default because I've already seen it enough, and I do like something different. And this is exactly what I mean when something is different. It's just so good and sleek. And that about wraps the video up. For me, I feel like that's about everyone I covered. I kind of went overboard when it came to explaining or just excusing half of these characters with why their skin was better than a certain other one for them in their catalog. And maybe I might just cut some of them out, because this video is looking to be probably over like 20 minutes. But it's just something to get out there as a sort of sense of content, as just a ranking, because I do want to update that playlist. There are a couple of videos coming out here and there that I'm going to be making that add on to that playlist, and I'm glad I am, because the thing is, regardless of their view count or their engagement, they're really there for whoever does want to see them, and mainly for me as well. If I ever feel like rewatching videos that I upload, I do want to have this sort of sense of my opinions on these stuff, because I want to have a track record of it to see if they ever change in the course of the game, and this video is a good purpose to do that. And whoever wants to add their opinion onto it, like in the comment section, or just engage with it and let me know their opinions, like their favorite skin, or if they felt I did them wrong with a certain skin I picked, just like leave it in the comment. I'm down to read it and respond to it. And my bad if my voice sounds a little distraught in the video. It's just because my voice is very dried out, like I'm really out of breath, and I'm just freaking speaking on the fly, like I'm just going with the flow. But yeah, that's enough of it. That's my whole view on the best skins for each character. And yeah, without any further ado, you all have a good rest of your day.